Hey friend, welcome to the Ready to Rise podcast with your host, me, Audrey Rose. This is the podcast all about taking your life to the next level. Join me on my journey as I create a life that I'm obsessed to wake up for every day. I hope that you are ready to create a life that you really, really love. Are you ready to rise? I am really excited to just start this podcast and share a little bit about my journey and what I've been through and just what I'm learning. So I really thought it would be awesome to bring my really good friend over here, Miss Catherine, and a cup of chai, which I'm so excited to do. I just kind of envision, this as like hanging out with your friend and listening to the story and getting tips on how to live the best life that you can possibly live. Isn't that what we're all kind of looking for?
Hey, babe. So I'm super excited to be here with you and your chai and me and my kombucha. Thanks so much for having me on your intro. So why don't we just talk about, kind of like we've talked about before, over glasses of wine, glasses of coffee.
All the things.
Yeah, like where did this all start for you? Where do you feel like this started?
So my story basically starts just growing up in a really small town, kind of a judgmental feeling town where it was hard to just be your true self. I feel like I always wanted to live up to my parents' expectations or my grandparents' expectations and check off all the boxes that society wants you to basically check off, right? So I did that. I continued to check all the boxes, even when I was dating people or kind of picking out what outfit I would wear for the night, just literally anything. It was like, what's going to let me blend in? What makes me less opinionated? What can I do? What can I do to earn their approval? What can I do to make this guy like me? I won't say anything too outrageous. I remember like buying these books that were going to connect me on a deeper spiritual level, like the Celestine Prophecy, or I had heard about A Course in Miracles back then. And I was so distanced from those things, but I was also so intrigued to them. But I just knew in my heart that if I brought something like that home, I might feel judged by my parents or my grandparents or especially my friends. So I steered clear. I did all those normal society things, right? Where I, checkbox things. I met an awesome guy with, like the lifted truck and the whole thing. We got this beautiful rescue dog. We were putting offers in on the perfect homes. I finished my nursing degree. I was starting to go back to school to further that education. And then I had found, and he didn't know at the time that I found this gorgeous, perfect princess cut diamond ring, the most perfect little engagement ring in his secret hiding spot. And that was just a little bit after I had gotten pregnant and lost the baby. I'll never forget just that feeling of being towards the end of finishing nursing school. I was just spotting, and it wasn't pretty. It was not a comfortable thing, and it didn't feel good. And I remember my friend Eden from school, she like held my hand literally and walked me to the nurse's office. And I went and they took a urine sample and found out that I was pregnant. But I unfortunately lost it after, which was really hard. And that whole situation, it just kind of showed me that he might not be the right guy for me. And I didn't know if my feelings of going through that with him anyways, it just showed me that maybe that wasn't exactly what I wanted to do or who I wanted to do it with. So a little bit after that, I hit a pretty decent depression, not necessarily over the baby because it was months later, but I think it was like everything just catching up to me all at once. I had all the things I mentioned, right? We're putting offers in on homes post miscarriage, offers in on homes. We were doing all these amazing things together and had all of those boxes checked off, that they, whoever they are, say that you're supposed to have checked off to be happy. And I woke up one morning and I literally just realized that I hadn't been happy for a long time. I mean, it was months of me. I would go to work. I was still able to go to work, but I wouldn't go grocery shopping after work. I wouldn't do anything. I literally would come home and maybe shower, you know. It was horrible. I would not go to the store. I would literally open up a can of tuna that I found in the back of our cupboards and eat that for dinner or eat nothing, just so that I wouldn't have to go to the store. I didn't want anybody to see me. I just was so unhappy and didn't love myself.
So what did you do after that?
Well, I just continued to decline. It just sucked. I mean, it took me a long time. I didn't pull myself out of this one. And I remember being so depressed. Yeah, I wouldn't go anywhere. I was binge watching Netflix. It was bad. So the next thing I remember was a friend of mine who literally, she texted me when she was in the town I was living in at the time, so I had no choice to steer her away. And she said, "What's your address?" And the next thing I knew, she came over. She was pounding on my door. She throws me in the shower, drags me to this brunch spot to make me sit in the sunshine. And she just looked at me and was like, "You look like shit." And I kind of confessed, it made me, I couldn't hide it anymore. I couldn't deny the fact that I was so fucking unhappy anymore that I was like, yeah, I guess you're right. And I kind of marinated in these feelings for a couple more weeks. And then finally one night as I was falling asleep, my ex and I had gotten into some kind of fight or whatever it was. And I rolled over. I texted two of my really good friends from nursing school. And within 10 hours, they were literally there the next morning. They were there. We rented a U-Haul. We packed all of my belongings. They drove it home for me. It was so insane. And I started this whole new life. I finally got my first place by myself. I had never lived on my own up until now.
And what did you say to us when you text? 'Cause I was one of them. So what exactly did your text say? I'm asking you, but I know what it said. I
totally don't remember. Help me?
You said, "Get me out now. And if I don't get out in the next 10 hours, it's not going to happen. And I need out now.
Yeah.
Right now."
It's so true. Sometimes yeah, yep. And then Adrian was the one that drove the U-Haul home. She found me this apartment so I could have my dog here. It literally just, everything happened just so quickly. It fell into place. And the thing is, just side note, it's so crazy how when things are the right things, they will always fall into place the right way. I had to fight so hard to keep that relationship. The, houses, the offers, that none of those houses that we put offers in, none of it worked out. And it's just insane to me. So anyways, I finally came to this place and it was super hard. I was not in a great place here either when I first moved into this place. It was kind of like a Tinder and tequila type of a vibe. I just did my own thing. I had very poor coping mechanisms. And it took me a long time to get on track. When I finally decided that I had enough of those shenanigans, I really don't even know when that clicked for me, to be honest. But somehow, thank God, it finally kind of did. And ever since, I've been on this journey finding myself. And again, it's so synchronistic the way everything works out. It's one thing after another. I'm so excited to be able to share my story with you guys. And I just wanted to give you that introduction to let you know kind of where I came from. This place of just, this hole in my heart of just this dark feeling. It wasn't fun anyways. And I know that there's a lot of you out there going through similar things, maybe even worse things. And I just kind of want to share my stories, share the positivity and everything that I've done since then to bring myself out of that hole, just to show you that you can do it too. Seriously, you can really create a life that you love and that you're excited for. I know that there's so many women out there that have something else on their heart, some kind of deeper inner knowing that they were made for more, and that you can rise into that potential and rise into that person that you're destined to be. You don't need to live a lackluster life where you feel like everything on the outside is meeting all the standards, but why are you still not happy? Why do you still feel so lost? So take it from somebody who was very lost and who's finally finding themselves, finally living a life that I truly love and am just literally so excited to wake up for all the time. I am excited to get you to a very similar place, and I look forward to getting to know you over our coffee breaks. Yay! I'm so happy you were able to make it to another awesome episode. Don't forget, if this resonated with you, take a screenshot, tag me in it on Instagram at enlightened.wellness. Or if it's something that one of your friends needs to hear, don't hesitate to send it out. Let's get this message across. Have a blessed day.